Dear students, in today's class, we will take up medium transmission line performance analysis. A medium transmission line is one which has length more than 80 kilometer and less than 200 kilometers. For the medium transmission lines, the line capacitance cannot be neglected. For analysis purpose, this capacitance is assumed to be lumped at either of the two ends, that is, at sending end and receiving end, or it is assumed to be lumped at the middle of transmission line. If capacitance is lumped at the two ends, then the transmission line is represented by pi network, and if the capacitance is assumed to be lumped at the middle of the transmission line, then the transmission line is represented by T network. Pi and T both are two-port networks. When length of transmission line is more than 80 kilometer, the line capacitance, which is also known as charging capacitance, is significant. Significant means what? Considerable. And cannot be ignored. Since capacitance is distributed over the line but for analysis purposes, this can be assumed as lumped parameter. Either at the center of line, we call it as nominal t, or at both the ends of a transmission line. If capacitance is assumed to be lumped at both ends, that is sending end and receiving end, then what we call the network as nominal pi network. These are called nominal T and nominal pi because it is approximate representation Now we will study the performance analysis of transmission lines by representing transmission line as nominal T and nominal pi network. Nominal T representation. This is nominal T representation of a line. Here, this point is midpoint of the transmission line. That is, it is equidistant from both the ends. If transmission line is of 100 kilometers, then it is at 50 kilometers from either of the ends. On either side of this point, half of the line impedance, that is R by 2 and Jx by 2, are shown, whereas the capacitance is shown between the midpoint and the return path. Sending end voltage is Vs, sending end current is Is, receiving end voltage is Vr, receiving end current is IR. Figure above shows above means here in last page, because I have turned the page, the nominal T representation of a transmission line. For analysis, it is preferable to take the receiving end current as a reference phasor. Phasor diagram is represented in figure below. Let us take the receiving end current as a reference phasor, that is IR. For lagging power factor, receiving end voltage will be leading the receiving end current. So it is VR now. The drop in R by 2 near receiving end will be in phase with receiving end current. So we have to show it parallel to IR, and its magnitude will be IR into R by 2. The drop in inductive reactance, that is X by 2, will be leading the receiving end current by 90 degree. So we'll show that at 90 degree to IR from the tip of IR into R by 2. Its magnitude will be IR into X by 2. If we add VR, IR into R by 2 and IR into X by 2, then we get the voltage at middle of transmission line, that is VC, as shown in figure above. Please refer to the figure. Here we got now VC. The current through the capacitance will be at 90° to voltage across it, that is VC. So we can show now IC here. This is phasor VC. At 90° to VC we are showing IC, because we know that in case of capacitive circuit, current leads voltage by 90°. At middle of the transmission line, if we add IC and IR, we get IS by using Kirchhoff's current law. Adding the phasor means completing a parallelogram and then taking its diagonal. So the diagonal here is now IS for us, and this IS will be flowing through resistance R by 2 and inductive reactance X by 2, which are near sending end. Therefore, drop in R by 2 near sending end will be equal to IS into R by 2, and that will be parallel to this IS, that we will show from the tip of VC. This way. This is IS into R by 2. And drop in inductive reactance X by 2 is IS into X by 2, to be shown at 90° to IS from the tip of IS into R by 2. So this is IS into X by 2. Joining the tip of IS into X by 2 to the starting point, we get Vs. So this is now Vs, that is sending end voltage. So what is this? This is phasor diagram of nominal T representation Now let us calculate the sending end voltage. To calculate sending end voltage, we need the voltage at middle of transmission line, that is VC. To calculate VC, we will refer to this phasor diagram. In this phasor diagram, phasor VC is here. It may be calculated as the sum of VR into cos phi r plus IR into R by 2 plus VR into sin phi r into J plus IR into x by 2 into j. J we are taking because we are calculating here vertical projection of VR and drop in inductive reactance. So using these horizontal and vertical components, we can write VC as VC equal to VR cos phi r plus IR into R by 2 plus J into VR sin phi r plus J into IR x by 2. Now we will separate out the terms containing VR and the terms containing IR, and then we will take common out VR and IR. So now VC is equal to VR into the bracket cos phi r plus J sin phi r plus IR into the bracket R by 2 plus J x by 2. Next we will calculate the current flowing through shunt capacitance IC. The current through shunt capacitance IC can be calculated as IC equal to VC into j omega C, where VC is voltage across shunt capacitance. And we know that if we apply KCL at midpoint of transmission line, we get IS equal to IC plus IR. Thus, Vs is equal to Vc plus IS into the bracket R by 2 plus Jx by 2. That is, the sending end voltage is equal to Vc, the voltage at midpoint of transmission line, plus the drop in the transmission line between midpoint and sending end. Now we will substitute for Vc. Vc we have calculated above as VR into the bracket cos phi r plus J sin phi r plus IR into the bracket R by 2 plus Jx by 2 plus IS into R by 2 plus Jx by 2. This is what now Vc plus Is into R by 2 plus Jx by 2. When there is no load on transmission line, then IR is equal to 0. And if IR is 0, since Is is equal to Ic plus IR, Is will become equal to Ic. And at IR equal to 0, say receiving end voltage is given by VR dash. When IR is equal to 0, receiving end voltage is given by VR dash. This VR dash will be equal to voltage at midpoint of transmission line, that is VC, because drop between the midpoint and receiving end will be equal to 0 as IR is equal to 0. What I am telling is IR into the bracket R by 2 plus JX by 2 term will become 0 because IR is 0. The current in shunt branch will be IC dash. IC dash is what? IC dash is current in shunt branch, that is capacitance, when IR is equal to 0. Like we took receiving end voltage as VR dash at IR equal to 0 is given by VC by the impedance. Which impedance we have to take here? We have to take the impedance between sending end and the return path through the midpoint only. That means R by 2 plus Jx by 2 minus J of 1 by omega c. This is R by 2 near sending end, X by 2 near sending end, and this is capacitive reactance between midpoint and return path. Thus, VC will become equal to, that is voltage across capacitor will become equal to Vs upon J omega c into R by 2 plus J X by 2 minus J 1 by omega c. Here we are making use of voltage division formula. Here we are making use of voltage division formula. That is, if I have two impedances, say Z1, Z2 in series, and a voltage source connected to it Vs, if I need to calculate voltage across Z2, say VZ2, then VZ2 is given by total voltage Vs applied to the impedances in series into impedance of the branch across which we need to calculate voltage, that is Z2, divided by the sum of impedances, that is Z1 plus Z2. So this formula we have made use here in calculation of VC. Now, knowing the receiving end voltage at any given load VR and the receiving end voltage at no load VR dash, we can write an expression for percentage regulation as percentage regulation equal to VR dash minus VR upon VR into 100, and percentage efficiency is equal to output power. Here output power is nothing but power delivered to the load connected to receiving end by P plus losses in the transmission line, that is 3 into the bracket losses in R by 2 near receiving end and losses in R by 2 near sending end, that is IR square into R by 2 plus IS square into R by 2. Here we are multiplying by 3 because the value of resistance is per phase and the currents that we have considered are also per phase values. So to calculate 3-phase power, we have to multiply the per phase resistive losses by 3. Next we will calculate ABCD constants for the nominal T network. So now write determination of A, B, C and D constants. Since load and R by 2 plus JX by 2 near receiving end are in series, and this series combination is in parallel with VC, the voltage equation for capacitor VC may be written as VR plus IR into Z by 2, where Z is equal to R plus JX, the total impedance of transmission line. This is phasor sum here, remember. And IC is equal to voltage across capacitor VC into the capacitive admittance Y, and sending end voltage Vs is equal to Vc plus, that is voltage across capacitor, plus, and the drop in impedance near sending end is given by Is into Z by 2. but IS is equal to IR plus IC. Therefore, we can write IC plus IR into Z by 2. Again, this is also phasor sum. So now, substituting for VC from here in the expression for Vs, we get VR plus IR into Z by 2 plus substituting for IC, that is VC into Y, but VC is VR plus IR into Z by 2. Therefore, IC may be written as Y into VR plus IR into Z by 2 into Z by 2 as it is. Plus IR into Z by 2 also we have to write. That will write as it is. IR into Z by 2. Now separating out VR and IR terms, we get VR plus Y into Z by 2 into VR plus IR into Z by 2 plus Y into Z square by 4 into IR plus IR into Z by 2 plus IR into Z by 2. On simplification we get VR into the bracket 1 plus YZ by 2 plus IR into the bracket. Adding IRZ by 2 and IRZ by 2, we get IR into Z. And from here, we will take Z common outside. So 1 plus YZ by 4 into Z. Into Z. Sending end current IS is equal to IR plus IC, that is IR plus, again we have to substitute here for IC as we did here, that is Y into the bracket VR plus IR into Z by 2 Y into the bracket VR plus IR into Z by 2 taking IR common, we get IR into the bracket 1 plus Z by 2 into Y plus VR into Y. Rewriting these equations, we get IS is equal to VR into Y plus IR into the bracket 1 plus Z by 2 into Y. Comparing expressions for Vs and Is that we have derived here with Vs equal to A into VR plus B into IR and Is equal to C into VR plus D into IR. we can write for A, B, C and D. Take the equation for Vs. Equation for Vs is here. Coefficient of Vr here is 1 plus yz by 2. And here the coefficient of Vr is A. Therefore, A is equal to 1 plus yz by 2. In the equation for Vs, B into IR is second term. Now look for the coefficient of IR in the expression for Vs. That is equal to 1 plus yz by 4 into z. Therefore, we can write B equal to 1 plus yz by 4 into z, or z into the bracket 1 plus yz by 4. Now we will compare equation for Is. Coefficient of Vr is y here and coefficient of Vr is c here. Therefore, c is equal to y. Next, in the equation for Is, comparing the coefficients of IR, d will become equal to, we get d equal to 1 plus yz by 2. So now you can conclude here. A equal to d equal to 1 plus yz by 2. Also we can say that AD minus BC equal to 1 by calculation. Dear students, this class ends here. Thank you.